Welcome to a 3-minute army primer for the everyman army of Kings of War. Quite literally everyman, it's the kingdoms of men and women. Kingdoms of human? Kingdoms of men represent the basic unit price from which every other unit in the game are costed. That means that what you get with the army is value, value, value! That being said, thanks to the Indomitable Will army upgrade, essentially making most of your core units unwaverable, recent updates mean you can configure the army into some truly nasty combinations. Let's have a look at the archetypes. With cavalry at speed 8, you might be thinking that Kingdoms of Men can be outsped by quite a few opponents, but the key here is its plentiful and horrifically cheap flying chaff options, which mean you can often find yourself staring grumpily at a wizard on Pegasus while multiple knight units prepare to eviscerate your liver. And of course, with multiple cheap flying options, you can have a multiple cheap flying circus to run rings around the enemy. To be fair, other armies do it better, but it's always there and always effective. With cheap basic troops of literally every type available, mixed arms starts to become really competitive. Whether it's artillery, archers or lightning bolt, the shooting is effective enough to back up the extremely solid infantry and cavalry backbone of the force. I've mentioned their cheap basic troops enough times for you to be able to work out by now that you can cut and paste those little buggers and flood the board with nerve blocks that are irritatingly hard to remove, especially if you bother to stick Indomitable Will on anything. You can even make them fanatics, and now they bite back too. The captain, whose real name is Alvaro Raposa, fact fans, is the cornerstone to nearly every Kingdoms of Men list, with his ability to redeploy troops playing counter to your usually more elite enemy's deployment. That's it. He's good because of that. Very much a one-trick pony. Oh, you can also give him a pony. I do love a cut price dragon, and the General on Winged Beast is king of the cut price dragons, coming as they do on a lovely 50mm base, allowing all the flying shenanigans that people hated with dragons in version 2. Such larks. The wizard? Literally the most basic wizard in the game? Yep, they can take pretty much any spell you like, but more often than not you'll see them sitting pretty on a Pegasus with lightning bolt instead of fireball. Sure, they add to the barrage of ranged nonsense, but then they'll also happily fly 10 and sit in front of your horde while regiments of knife prepare to eviscerate. Hang on, I already said that. Honourable mention goes to brand new hot off the press edition of the Monarch, which is basically a configurable dragon that can unlock a whole host of fun builds depending on how you want to play it. Knights with a 1618 nerve? Thanks very much. Vicious fanatics? Don't mind if I do. So there's lots that's good about Kingdoms of Men, but at the end of the day they are still humans in a fantasy world, and the generic nature of their troops can make them feel a little dull compared to their shinier counterparts in Rordia, Brothermark, Basileia or whatever. Plus, being just okay at everything means that players can struggle to make them effective, since they pretty much focus on the quality of your gameplay over any tricks or shenanigans. In summary, Kingdoms of Men are as generic, basic and therefore flexible as you'd imagine humans to be in a fantasy world. They can field just about any troops but need real skill to deliver their true impact. Therefore, I'm giving them an appropriately generic 3 out of 5 for newbie difficulty rating.